Attention passionate New York Giants fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the NFC East and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on New York Giants' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true New York Giants fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your friends and New York Giants fans. Let's get to the news now, folks. This is the kind of news that really gets the blood pumping, especially when it concerns the Giants' offense. Rumors are swirling that the Cincinnati Bengals might be making a bold move that could send shockwaves through the NFL. And yes, it involves one of their key wide receivers, Tee Higgins. Right now, the chatter is pointing towards a potential trade that could see Higgins donning the Giants blue in the very near future. And believe me, if this deal goes down, it could be one of the biggest offseason shakeups for Big Blue in recent memory. The Bengals, sitting at 5-9 and kind of stuck in a bit of a cap mess after their extension with Joe Burrow, which is costing them a hefty $52 million against the cap, are reportedly exploring options to free up some space. One of those options, trading Tee Higgins. The move, if it happens, would involve Cincinnati receiving a second-round pick in the 2026 NFL Draft along with a fourth-rounder. And in return, they'd free up around $13 million to focus on rebuilding their defensive line, which, as we all know, has been giving up over 150 rushing yards per game this season. It's a bold move by the Bengals, but it makes sense. They're in cap hell, they're trying to keep Chase happy with a big extension, and their chances in the AFC, especially with their defense, are looking uncertain right now. For the Giants, this isn't just a splash move, it's a game changer. Adding a dynamic, explosive receiver like Tee Higgins could totally elevate their passing game. Higgins, 26, is coming off a solid 2025 season where he caught 65 passes for nearly 0 yards and scored 7 touchdowns. His PFF grade this year is an impressive 87.9, placing him among the top 9 wide receivers in the league. That's no small feat. He averages about 10 yards per target and an EPA, expected points added, of plus 0.47 per reception, which shows he's not just making catches. He's making plays that significantly boost the offense. Since entering the league in 2020, Higgins has amassed over 800 receiving yards and 38 touchdowns, with a career average of 4.4 catches per game. His yards after catch, YAC, are around 6.4, and he's got a contested catch rate of about 59%. The guy is reliable, physical, and can stretch the field with his route running. Remember, Higgins missed 2 games in November due to a shoulder injury, but when he's healthy, he's been a prime target, similar in style and production to some of the best wideouts in the league, like Stefon Diggs at his peak. Now, why would the Bengals want to do this? Well, besides their cap issues, they're also heavily invested in extending Ja'Marr Chase, who had over 300 yards this season. But with the AFC being so competitive, think about the Bills, Chiefs, and Bengals themselves. Their defense, which is currently allowing around 25 points per game and struggling to contain the pass, needs a serious upgrade. Losing Higgins would hurt their aerial attack, especially since they rely heavily on their passing game to compete in the playoffs. For the Giants, this potential acquisition could be a massive boost. Higgins would bring a spark to the offense alongside Jahan Dotson and Jayden Reed, creating mismatches and forcing defenses to pick their poison. His presence would open up the field for Daniel Jones, allowing him to target Higgins deep or in the intermediate zones with confidence. With Robinson already establishing himself as a reliable target, Higgins' addition would make the passing game much more explosive. Right now, the Giants are averaging around 180 passing yards per game, which ranks near the bottom of the league. If they land Higgins, projections show that their passing yards could jump to over 240 per game, a 16% increase, which would be a huge step forward. And let's not forget, this could be the kind of move that takes the Giants from a decent team to a legitimate playoff contender. Their offense, which has struggled at times, especially against tougher defenses, would benefit immensely from Higgins' ability to make contested catches, create yards after the catch, and stretch the field. It's reminiscent of the impact that Kansas City's offense saw after acquiring Tyreek Hill in 2021, an offense that suddenly became unstoppable, adding over 170 yards passing per game after Hill's arrival. The Giants could be heading toward a similar trajectory if they pull the trigger on this deal. Now, some projections suggest that Higgins could add around 100 receiving yards to the Giants total, boosting their overall passing yardage significantly and making their offense one of the most dangerous in the league. His chemistry with Daniel Jones could evolve quickly, especially since Higgins has a proven ability to make tough catches in tight coverage. His contested catch percentage sits at about 59%, which is excellent. That kind of reliability is exactly what the Giants need to elevate their passing attack from decent to dominant. From a strategic standpoint, Higgins would also create more mismatches. The Giants' secondary has been vulnerable, especially against bigger receivers and tight coverage. Having a receiver like Higgins, who's capable of winning jump balls and making contested catches, means defenses would have to reconfigure how they cover the Giants' offense, giving more opportunities to Robinson and Dotson underneath. Plus, Higgins' yards per target and EPA indicate that he's a high-impact receiver who can change the complexion of the game instantly. Looking at the big picture, the potential trade has huge implications for the Giants' Super Bowl aspirations. With the odds currently at around +50, 0 earlier in the season, market projections have already shifted, with some books now listing the Giants at +22-0. That's a massive jump and reflects increased optimism about their Super Bowl chances if they land a player like Higgins. His 6 playoff touchdowns in his career already show he's comfortable in high-pressure situations, and he could become the X factor that pushes the Giants over the edge, especially in the postseason. This move also echoes the kind of strategic rebuild the Giants are aiming for, building around their young quarterback Daniel Jones, adding explosive weapons, and creating a more balanced, versatile offense. Higgins' arrival would be a huge statement of intent, signaling that the Giants are serious about competing now and not just in the future. It's reminiscent of the 2011 Giants' Super Bowl run, where key additions in critical moments helped elevate the team to championship status. Higgins could be that kind of player, someone who transforms the offense into a relentless, explosive unit capable of taking down the best teams in the league. Of course, there are still questions. Will Cincinnati be willing to part with Higgins? Can the Giants afford the trade in terms of draft capital and cap space? How quickly can Higgins gel with Daniel Jones and the rest of the offense? All valid concerns, but it's hard to deny the immense upside if this trade happens. It's a move that could redefine the Giants' offense, energize the fan base, and give them a real shot at making a deep playoff run. The next few weeks will be critical, and if the Giants do pull the trigger, it might just be the move that sparks a new era of success in East Rutherford. And now, New York Giants fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this potential trade? Do you think Higgins is the missing piece that the Giants need to finally get over the hump? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the future of this team. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates, so stay tuned for all the latest New York Giants news.